Hello and welcome to the United Stand, Manchester United versus Anderlecht Europa League preview show. And I'm going to be honest with you on this one, I've got a couple of surprises for you. That's not what I was going to say actually, but I have. But I am nervous. I am nervous if I'm totally honest, because I just can't see Manchester United losing this game. I was thinking about it earlier on, talking about it in work, and I was like, I can't see Manchester United doing anything other than winning this game. And because of that, it almost makes you feel, well, will it go wrong? Well, will it go wrong? I don't think it should. I don't think it will. I think Anderlecht celebrated that draw like Liverpool celebrated getting a win against West Brom, like they won a cup final essentially. So if it stays 0-0, we're through. 1-1, extra time, 2-2, we're out. I can't see Anderlecht winning, and I can't see us conceding more than one goal against them, and that's no disrespect to them. There is a really, really clear gap in ability, and Manchester United should comfortably be winning this game. How we line up, how we go about it is very interesting, but without further ado, I am going to... I was going to try and do something. Oh God, what is it? When I go live, everything seems to be going wrong at the moment. It might work. Let's have a look. Oh, it's going to work. This is great. Now, very quick. I was at the game on Sunday, as people may know, for Manchester United versus Chelsea. I know on the United Stand we get a lot of international viewers, and I know to go to Old Trafford would be a dream for many of you. So I bought you all a ticket. I'm only joking. But I haven't bought you a ticket, but I know that you may never get to go to Old Trafford in your life, so I did film you this little bit just to give you a little glimpse of what it's like at Old Trafford, and this is for you lot.
Number 21, under Herrera. Number 25,
So the Stretford end on your right there, this is where I was sat.
Number 36, Mikhail Galia.
Close up of Dave coming in. This is just before the game was really on. Dave, and I think a can back for shot from them, looking for my mates. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed that little trip for you there. There's more to come from that, but I just wanted to give you that. But Manchester United, they play Anderlecht on Thursday night, and we must win. I'll be back in the chair for the watch along. Don't worry about that. But yes. Very excited about it. Semi-finals of the Europa League. We're all boosted by this result against Chelsea. How would I line up? Well, Mourinho's promised to make changes for the game, and it will be a different Manchester United to Chelsea. And I think that team we saw on Sunday, I think Mourinho, I was talking about this earlier on my Zlatan video that you can watch later if you've not watched it, plug. But I think what Mourinho did on Sunday stunned everybody, and I've had so many people saying to me today, I really respect the fact that you that you were unhappy with the lineup before it came out, but you've not deleted your tweets like some people have, and you've stood by them. I don't think we deserve an award. I think 99% of us did expressed disgust at that team and were very frustrated by it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what fan opinion's all about. I challenge anybody who wasn't disappointed with that lineup that came out before the game on Sunday. But the brilliance of it, that disappointment, was Mourinho basically just said, I am the man to take Manchester United to the next stage. I've just made you all really angry and frustrated and still beaten the league leaders with that team with a tactical masterclass. So I had no intention of deleting our tweets. I'm 100% happy that I was unhappy with that lineup, because everything in our history of this season led us to believe that that was going to be a car crash. And then Mourinho just pulled out this, he even suckered the fans in. Imagine what it did to Chelsea. They must have been like, oh yeah, we're going to win this, and it suckered us all. And I'm happy about that, because it just shows the brilliance of Mourinho. So, you know, if you were unhappy with that team, don't feel bad. You know, that's what Mourinho gets paid the big bucks for, to make the right decisions that many of us wouldn't have done. So it was brilliant. But I think what he'll do with that team on Sunday is he'll use that in the Premier League. Because I was saying today, look, our running in the Premier League compared to Liverpool and Man City, who we've got to rein in, they're playing farmers, we're playing tough games. And I think what he did on Sunday, he sort of like said, I don't think Mourinho thinks we can get top four. I think he's a bit like me. He'd love it and he'll try his best for it, but I think he knows that Europa League's where it's at. So I think what he'll do in the Premier League, like Burnley on Sunday, is he'll probably play a similar team to that he did against Chelsea and sort of like say, look, go and do it again. Go and win, because if we keep winning, we might get top 4. But priority is the Europa League, and I think that's why we'll see Mkhitaryan and Zlatan obviously coming back. Now, Anderlecht are going to approach this game very differently to the way Chelsea did. Chelsea obviously fancied their chances, especially when they saw that lineup. They played a high line and they went for it, and we used that pace of Rashford and Lingard to get in behind them. Anderlecht will probably... Well, Anderlecht haven't got the ability to come to Old Trafford and beat us 3 or 4-0. They're going to need they're going to need the perfect night of luck, United not turning up, a couple of decisions going their way, and they're going to defend and try and not concede, because if they concede, then their night's over really. So they're going to defend and try and hit us on the break. So they're going to play a deep line. They're not going to play a high line, which straight away Zlatan's got to play, because Zlatan in their box, putting balls into the box, is a major threat. He's still one of the best strikers in the world. So obviously Zlatan will come in. De Gea, will he be in goal? Probably not. He may well stick with Romero, which, for me, I would put De Gea in goal, but I think he's going to play Romero. Valencia will obviously play at right back. Rojo and Bay pick themselves. I'm hoping Luke Shaw plays at left back. I mean, whatever people say about Ashley Young on Sunday, he was good. He was probably one of our worst players, but he was still good. But I still don't see what Ashley Young offers that Luke Shaw doesn't. So I hope Luke Shaw plays at left back. The midfield 3, it should be Carrick, Herrera and Pogba. With Mkhitaryan on the right, Zlatan up front, and I would imagine he may put Rashford out on the left. I'd love to see Anthony Martial, but I mean, Martial wasn't even on the bench, was he, on Sunday? So I'd love to see Martial, Zlatan, Mkhitaryan with Pogba, Herrera and Carrick, and Shaw, Valencia, Rojo, Bay and De Gea in goal. I think that's virtually our best, strongest team anyway. But I suspect Rashford will probably start on the left, Luke Shaw hopefully in at left back, but we'll see. So yeah, I think we'll win it. I'm very confident we'll win it. I think we'll score in the first half, and I think we'll score in the second half, and I think we'll end up winning probably about 3-0, maybe 4-0. I don't see Anderlecht scoring. Tielemans, I don't know what people thought about him. He is the player to still watch in the second leg at Old Trafford. He was okay in the first leg, but there was a very, very clear gap in talent between Anderlecht and Manchester United. And I think the great thing about that Chelsea result is, and I've been saying this for a number of weeks now, is we've not been doing terribly, but been grinding results out. The great thing about Sunday is we played well, and when you play well, you build confidence. And to play well and build confidence without Mkhitaryan and Zlatan and Carrick, they're players that can come in with their experience, and they'll have to respond and become part of the team that's playing well. That's a good omen, because if you're playing well, it gives you a bigger chance of winning games. Yes, we're good enough to grind out results under Mourinho, but if we're playing good football, that's good. And I see no reason why, going into that Anderlecht game with confidence, and yes, it was disappointing what Fellaini did in the last few minutes of this first leg. We should have won it 1-0. He lost his man, it's 1-1, but we still got the away goal. We're still in a strong position from that first leg. And to be honest, it would be an absolute shock of epic proportions if we weren't in the Europa League semi-finals on Friday. It's set up for us, and there is no reason for us to not think that we're going to get through. Anderlecht are not that good, and it would be, like I say, a real disaster if Manchester United did go out. Anything can happen in football, and that makes me feel a little bit nervous, but there isn't really any reason to be nervous. We're good enough, we're playing well, we're at Old Trafford. If they can replicate what that atmosphere was on Sunday by half, it will be intimidating to somebody like Anderlecht. They won't have played in that sort of situation before. Ander Herrera was just fantastic, and if he plays half as well as it is against Chelsea, he'll still be man of the match. It was a flawless performance, and I just think that not only from Manchester United fans, it was, like I said, it was 10 out of 10, but lots of people saying they'd love an Ander Herrera in their team. Other clubs do have fans who have brains. They're not total bitter, all of them. And I've read a lot of people saying how good Herrera was on Sunday, and he was fantastic. Very reminiscent of the sort of performances that Phil Neville or a Darren Fletcher used to put in the big games in the past against your Arsenals or in Europe. Just a real dominant midfield performance. But the thing that Herrera's got that Fletcher and Neville didn't have is that ability. I mean, not only was he marking Hazard man to man, but he escaped him a couple of times to score a goal and play a superb pass through to Rashford. So if Herrera plays like that, and then we've got so many match winners in that team that I cannot see it. And I don't like being overconfident, but I think 3 or 4-0 should be easily expected. And I think the early goal against Chelsea makes a big difference. If we can get an early goal, which we've very rarely done at Old Trafford this year, it really, really will help us to win that game. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we're getting to the business end of the season now. There's no leeway in the Premier League. We know that. And there's very little in the Europa League. So very, very excited about what we can achieve. And we've got to get Champions League football. I think that the nerves are starting to build now. We've had the international break. We've had those 2 draws against West Brom and Everton, but then we've been to Sunderland and won. Didn't play that well. We threw it away in Anderlecht, but we got a decent result with the away goal. And then Chelsea was fantastic on Sunday. So the momentum's with us. We win Anderlecht. We've got Burnley away on Sunday. It'll be very, very difficult. Then we've got City away on the following Thursday. So it's a massive week for United. And I would say in probably 2 weeks' time, we'll know whether we can get top 4 or not. And it's going to be a big ask, but we've got to focus on the Europa League. Win this game. We're in the Europa League semi-final, and there are going to be for us to get top 4 and win the Europa League, we'd have to win pretty much every game we've got left this season. That's not going to happen. So you can base it on whatever you like, but it's not going to happen because you look at the fixtures, you look at the squad. It would be unbelievable to do it, and we've got to believe. But I just think the Europa League is where it's at, and I think Liverpool and City have got everything in their favour to get the top 4 positions. And, if we don't get top 4, we've blown it ourselves. And we are very acceptable about that. We knew this season was going to be tough. And I think the 2 draws against West Brom and Everton were where it went wrong. Champions League is a must this season, says Samir. I do agree with you on that. And Andrew is so real, it's beautiful, says Aravind. And Tottenham to catch Chelsea. Let's see, says Anthony. Well, we'll talk about that maybe at the weekend. But in relation to the Europa League, I'm very, very confident that we can do it. I do believe that Zlatan should be playing up front in this game. I've done the video on Zlatan. Are we better with him or without him? Which you can all go and watch if you didn't watch it at 5 o'clock. It was just a little bit of a live thing, but it was 10 minutes extra because I knew the preview would be shorter tonight with all the Champions League stuff going on. So Zlatan's got to start on Thursday. They're going to play deep, and that's where Zlatan's useful. Mkhitaryan's a big player to come back. I feel Pogba's getting better and better by the game, but the key player is probably Ander Herrera and Antonio Valencia. I mean, he's just a fantastic player, an absolute fantastic player. But the great thing about Herrera, just going back to him momentarily, is that when people say to me, who's your player of the season? It's Antonio Valencia. But I was thinking today, you know what? Ander Herrera could pip him. We've still got 2 months of this season left. We've got, how many games we've got left? Potentially about 10 games left, maybe more. Big, important games. If Herrera continues to perform like he has done recently for the next 10 games, he could well pip Valencia to player of the season, which is amazing because Valencia's been a beast and consistent all year. But the one thing about Herrera, if you've been listening to me in my match reactions since Christmas, I've said, such and such is man of the match, but Herrera would be my second man of the match. Such and such is man of the match, but Herrera would be my... And he's consistently been in the top 3 Manchester United performances every game, Herrera, up until Sunday, where he was just head and shoulders man of the match. So he's been very, very consistent since Christmas, Herrera. And I'm very, very impressed with him. We've loved Herrera on this channel for a long time. If you've been here long enough, people like Lynn and George and Tyler and Duke and Tyrone and lots of others. I'm not naming all of you because I'll be here all night. But if you were here like 18 months ago on the United stand and we were tweeting out pictures, save Herrera, where's Private Herrera and all that lot, because Van Gaal just wouldn't pick him. And as fans, we were like, he's ready, he's good enough. And then you get the little dissenters saying, you don't know more than Van Gaal. Well, we did. Most Manchester United fans knew more than Van Gaal. And we knew in Herrera, we had this player that, yes, he's not the best tackler in the world. He's not the quickest player in the world. He's not the most skillful player in the world. But he's a cult hero. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And whilst he's not super fast, he's fast. While he's not super skillful, he's skillful. While he's not the best tackler in the world, he's a good tackler. He's got everything. He's probably an 8 out of 10 at everything without being the master of one thing. And that's so important. But the most important thing with Herrera is he gets Manchester United. He gets it. He wears his heart on his sleeve and he gets it. Valencia gets it. Rojo is getting it. Bailly, since we've signed him, he gets it. And these are Mourinho type of players. you know, Fellaini gets it. He's just not a very good footballer. And the reason I mentioned Fellaini is because to Mourinho, these are players that are very important to him. These are the players that he builds teams around. The players who get it. The players who will run through brick walls. The players who will follow instructions. If you watch that Chelsea game on Sunday, it was baffling the first 15 minutes. And I think if I'd have been doing the watch along, I would have been going, what the bloody hell is Herrera doing? He's virtually playing as a right back. But as the game develops, what he's actually doing, as we all know now, is following Hazard round man to man. It's such a rarity. I was talking to people at work today after the Easter break and I was saying, look, I've not seen that for a few years now. A player man to man marking another player. It's sort of dead. It never happens. But Herrera did it, and not only did he do it brilliantly, he also scored and set a goal up as well. So it was like the modern man-to-man marking, and I wonder if we'll see more teams doing that now, because it totally nullified Hazard. It was exceptional. It was exceptional tactics. It was an exceptional performance by Herrera, and an exceptional bit of management by Mourinho. Absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. But it's one game. It's one step. And we could take about a bit, you know, we could go to City next week and get beat 4-0. I don't think we will, and then people will be moaning again. So lots and lots of positives. A couple of things I want to talk to you about. Please do drop a like on the video. Remember, previews, we don't seem to get many likes on a preview video, so just drop us a like, because I know you like the content and I know you like getting involved. Chica FC says, will Anderlecht surprises on Thursday? No. Josie Pullis is a Mourinho fan now, says Tyrone. It's good that everybody's feeling happy. I wanted to say that. It's good that everyone is feeling happy. We've got loads of people watching the show last night and lots of interaction, which was fantastic. And the general consensus is that everybody's happy. I know there's been a few detractors on Twitter, but they're idiots, because they're basically trying to pick apart people who tweeted stuff before the game and calling them bullies and anti-Mourinho and all this nonsense. And the reality is, I think every tweet I read of people I respect, which is most of you lot, over the weekend when the team news came out, we were all disgusted and angry. There's nothing wrong with that. It was a natural thing to do. It was almost like Mourinho was sucking us in to suck Chelsea fans in and Conte. There was nothing wrong with seeing that lineup and being disgusted by it. And like I say, the brilliance of it is, and the reason I accept it, and I'm not apologetic about it, because at the time I wasn't very happy with it, like most Man United fans. But the brilliance of it is that when you're not happy with something and you get proved wrong in a brilliant way by a brilliant manager and a brilliant team performance. And I put my hands up and say they were fantastic. I'm not apologising for being mad about that lineup, because that was based on the last 7 months of people not performing that well, like Darmian and Fellaini and Lingard and people like that. But boy oh boy, on Sunday they did. And Mourinho deserves the clap. But for people to have a go at fans and say, oh, you shouldn't have been negative about the lineup, you should just back the manager and back the team and back the players no matter what. And I'm like, what world do you live in? What world do you live in when you get a dinner? You know, when you go to a restaurant and it's your favourite restaurant and somebody brings out a cold dinner, do you back the owner because you like him, or do you complain about the fact your dinner's cold? It's life, of course. It's passion. It's love. And love is blind sometimes. And I think our passion and love probably bubbled over a little bit before the game on Sunday, because it was like, oh, I'm not happy without this, I'm not happy about this. And that love and passion was so blind to the fact that there was a master plan there. But none of us would have predicted that Herrera was going to be man-to-man marking Hazard. It was brilliance by Mourinho. And I make no apologies for being angry or frustrated, because I don't mind being proved wrong in a situation like that. It's the beauty of football. Crazy Adil makes a good point. Does Pereira have a future at Manchester United? I hope so. I think he's a fantastic player. We need to get him back from Tony Adams. Two things I need to talk to you about. Right, one, very quickly. I was at the game. I'll do that in a minute. Right, first one, you've probably seen it going along the bottom. We started a £10 to £100 challenge. I know a few of you like your bets, so we've got it back. We've had a month off. £10 to £100 challenge started against Chelsea in the preview last time, and the odds of Manchester United beating Chelsea, if you put a tenner on, you got 28 quid, which was basically your tenner and your £18 bet profit. But not many people started it because I think they were a bit nervous, and a lot of you were very negative. Even though I told you to jump on it, you felt a bit negative. So a few of you messaged me. A few of you got on it. If you got on it, that's fine. You'll get more than 100 quid. But a few of you messaged me and said, can you start it from Thursday? Because I didn't dare do it for Chelsea. So we're starting it from today. It's the £10 to £100 challenge. The link is in the video description. It's through Bet365, who are very credible. Just go to the link in the video description. Sign yourself up with Bet365. They do a matched bet. Now, the way a matched bet bet works is if you put £10 on, they will give you a £10 in your wallet that you can redeem after the third bet. Because we're going to do a £10 to £100 challenge anyway, that's fine, because we're going to build up from £10 to £100, so you'll get that tenner back. Also, everybody who signs up, this is the cut of the jib. If you like betting, I'm sure you'll sign up and get on the £10 to £100 challenge anyway, because I'm confident we'll get to £100. But if you sign up and put your first bet on, you go into the draw for, we did the Rooney one last month, this month, Sir Bobby Charlton signed Manchester United shirt in a frame for everybody who signs up for this. You've got to sign up through the video description. You've got to put a bet on, your first bet, to go in the draw. The first bet is, link in the video description, sign yourself up, go to Manchester United versus Anderlecht in the Europa League, and I think it's the second or third bet down. It's called Manchester United half-time, full-time. And all that means is Manchester United will be winning at half-time and full-time. They haven't got to win both halves. They're just winning at half-time and full-time. And that's 1.72 decimal. I think it's 8 to 11 fractional. But so basically, you put your tenner on, we'll get £7.20 back. So full-time after Anderlecht, we'll have £17.20 on our trek to £100, and obviously we've got Burnley away at the weekend, so that'll be in the next bet. So get on it. It's going to be a little bit of fun. I'm confident I can get you up to £100 before the end of the season. Well, we've got plenty of games to do that, probably before the end of the month, the way it's going. But that's bet one. Get on it. Link in the video description, and you'll go into the draw to win a signed Sir Bobby Charlton shirt, which is probably better than any signed shirt you could win, because they're quite rare, and you know, it's going to be worth a hell of a lot of money. So Bobby's not going to be with us forever, unfortunately, and he is Mr. Manchester United. So get on that if you like yourself a little bet. The second thing, I was at the ground at Old Trafford on Sunday. I don't know whether anybody knows this yet, but I was. And obviously I've done a little bit of filming there on my phone, and it is good. In fact, let's go back and show you Old Trafford. Oh, whoa, don't want that. So let me go back and show you a little bit of... So there it is. That's just on my phone, that is. Very, very good footage. And after the game, I did a little bit of a match vlog, because you can go out of Old Trafford, people are leaving. If you go over to where Sir Bobby and Dennis Law and George Best statue is, it's a bit quiet round there. You can just hold your phone up in front of your face, and like so, and just do a little 2 or 3 minute match reaction. And the reason I'm telling you this is because if you are a match going fan and you want to get involved with the United stand, a lot of people have been saying, we don't really get enough from the ground, Mark. You know, we like to get a little bit from the ground, and we want to get more stuff from the ground, whether it's inside the ground like that, or if some of you want to, just give us your little match day reactions afterwards. Get in contact with us at United Stand MUFC. Drop us a DM if you're a match going fan and you want to start doing stuff like that, because we are happy to upload that sort of thing. Even if it's chucking some of your footage in on a preview like that, very easy to do, and the worldwide support will enjoy it. But if you want to do little match reactions for us as well, we want to get more fans who go to the game involved, because I think that's probably one area that we've probably neglected a bit. We're really into the worldwide support and we love all the interaction with that, but giving you a little bit from within the ground is great, or outside match reactions, brilliant. So if you want to get involved in that, we've got 77,000 subscribers on the United Stand now. If you do a video for us, you're going to get thousands of people watching it. I mean, what an opportunity. If you want to get into this sort of fan content arena and you've always wanted to do it, if I'd been offered this 3 years ago by somebody, I started it from nothing with everybody else. What a great opportunity to get involved if you want to. So like I say, drop us a message at United Stand MUFC on Twitter, or you can email us at soccerboxtv@gmail.com. But yeah, thanks for that. Happy Ricks, did he really go? No, I missed the watch along and got somebody to provide me some fake footage. There's pictures of me in the ground on Twitter. Dear. Thanks everybody for watching tonight. Please do drop a like you say. There's a few things to get on there. Don't forget the £10 to £100 challenge. Link is in the video description. Get signed up. I think we're going to have a bit of fun with that. And remember, it's half-time, full-time Manchester United. Good odds, 1.72. But I'll see you tomorrow. Skype Goldbridge tomorrow night at 8:30, taking your calls. A bit jigged up this week because of the bank holiday, but we are taking your calls tomorrow night at 8:30. And go and watch the Zlatan video. Interesting debate about that. Bit raw, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon. Keep getting involved. Keep spreading the word. And if you are a match game fan and you want to get involved, get in contact. Speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Really enjoyed it.